You know, nobody wants the Oilers to fix their goaltending more than me. That is for darn sure. We are going to talk about a couple of rumors around their goaltending, speculation, and whatnot. But before we get to that, welcome back to Pixel Plus Hockey, guys. If you can make sure to hit that subscribe button, it would be so greatly appreciated. And thank you to those that are already supporting me. That is also appreciated. Now, the Oilers have been pretty much linked to almost any goalie that becomes like vaguely available. Like Arthur Shelov's, John Gibson for a long time, who, by the way, I was actually okay with, considering them getting him, and I think he's going to have a pretty good season in Detroit. I still think Gibson is a good goalie, in my opinion. But since they've been linked to every goalie, that's going to come with speculation and rumors. And again, here's the thing. When you're this close to winning a Stanley Cup, you're willing to do almost anything, and I completely understand all the speculation. But now we have speculation around former or Philadelphia Flyers goaltender Carter Hart, which is really, really interesting. So first off, we're just going to talk about just the player right now. It would actually be kind of a perfect signing for the Oilers because he's actually a pretty good goalie. He is young enough. He is right in his prime. He is consistently above league average in his save percentage. He is a goalie that does play a lot of games, and he is reliable in that way. He doesn't have like a major injury history, and that is kind of exactly what the Oilers are looking for, of course. He has good size. He's also from Alberta. He's a good technical goalie. I mean, again, the one thing that I will always admit on this channel is that I'm not the best at analyzing goalies. But yeah, no, he is a really good one. There's no doubt about it. Now, he's going through a trial, and a number of other players are going through a trial right now for an issue, which is, we're just going to use the acronym SA here. And we don't even know what's going on with that in terms of whether he'll be found guilty or not guilty for the alleged circumstance. Obviously, I'm going to say alleged right now because I don't have all the information and facts, and nobody's been found guilty. But we have further information, an insider leak today from Jason Gregor, which kind of is putting this to bed. I mean, I don't know. Why don't you guys give me your feedback on this? So the quote goes, "Any report about the Oilers having interest in Carter Hart is incorrect. Edmonton will not be approaching him even if he is found not guilty." Because that was the whole point. Maybe if Carter Hart is found not guilty, perhaps they do look into this player. Now, the one thing that I will say about this is I actually think that he will get a contract somewhere no matter what. Like, I think that some team will give Carter Hart a contract. Obviously depends on the verdict. You know what? I'll do the question of the video right now. Are you guys actually disappointed in that? Do you think that if he's found not guilty for the alleged circumstance, that, hey, listen, he was found not guilty for the alleged circumstance, he should be able to continue his career? Or do you say absolutely not because, hey, listen, he was found not guilty, but that just means he wasn't found guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. That doesn't necessarily mean he wasn't guilty from a moral standpoint or whatever. Drop your opinions below. Now, to move on from other rumors and speculation, I think that we need to talk about the Oilers' forward group and who that they could get to improve their forward group. Because I was reading an article on the Hockey Writers, and they were talking about the fact that Jared McCann would be an excellent get for the Oilers. And it is true that I think the number one thing that they should be doing is their goaltending. I think they need to improve their goaltending. I think that they could use to improve their forward group as well with a score. And it's weird. Jared McCann is one of those players that he just never really seems to have a lot of value around the league. Let's not forget, the Leafs actually acquired Jared McCann. They actually essentially made him available so they could keep Justin Holl. And I was like, man, like Jared McCann, like he can really score. We have a card here from Jay Fresh. Rumors around the availability of Jared McCann, prime age two-way scoring center who's forgotten to press the finishing button this year. He is a guy that has scored a lot of goals. Even strength offense, 57%. Even strength defense, 51. His projected wins above replacement is 94%. This is a valuable player. Now, to be fair, I think that he fits a little bit better as a winger, in my opinion. I think that just makes a lot more logical sense. Now, he is getting paid $5 million, which is decent, but he's only 28 years old. So again, I like what the Oilers are doing. You know, with Isaac Howard, they're getting younger, right? With Jared McCann, if they get him, they're getting younger. They got Matt Savoy. They need these young guys to be, you know, to really make an impact on their lineup and add depth scoring, which is so important. You know, it's crazy. Even in his first season with the Seattle Kraken, he scored 40 goals in that season. Now, to be fair, you could say, well, he's had a little bit of regression, which is true. But even in a bad year, this guy's scoring 60 points, right? And when you're at your age 28, you would probably be close to the start of your decline. But that doesn't, I think this guy has tons of hockey left. Can you imagine a guy like this playing with, you know, McDavid or Draisaitl? Now, to be fair, sometimes it's really difficult to play with guys like this. It's so funny that sometimes when you have elite players, they almost prefer to play with worser players because, you know, mid-range players they're harder to keep up with those players. It's a really weird thing that sometimes, you know, the elite of the elite players, they almost just have like a caddy that plays with them that isn't necessarily the elite of the elite. But I personally think the Edmonton Oilers should be all over Jared McCann, and this analysis is absolutely correct. Anyways, I am going to end this video here. If you make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, I would greatly appreciate it, guys. And make sure to have a great day. Goodbye, guys.